Alright folks, today's soap is from Dr. John's, and the name of this one here is Aphrodite. Got the zip profile there on the side, and this is what it looks like on the inside. Now there's he has a version 2 that's out right now. This is the first one, or volume 1, or however you want to refer to it. Got the alum block, no rubber band this morning. Still got the mentholated witch hazel that's black ice scented from Stirling. Decided to go ahead and match it up with Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements Pomegranate Bay. And got it whipped up over here in a wooden bowl from the Distinctive Coat with a horsehair brush from Cremo Green. And shaver of the day is a PAA Injectomatic, and this is a tag video, shaving with your non-dominant hand. So I kept my watch on, and I wear my watch on my left hand, and I chose a single lead shaver to for this shave. I've already put a hot towel to the face this morning. Trevor was the gentleman that tagged me in this, and see how much fun we can have. Going to be going through the whole shave with just my left hand, use my shave with my left hand, so it'll be interesting to see how it works out. I know just shaving one side of my, oops, almost dropped it, my pre-shave soap. Shaving just one side of my face with a shavette is a bit of a challenge. So we can see how the whole shave goes with just the non-dominant hand, which is my left hand. And I also checked with him to make sure he hadn't been tagged yet. But I checked with Manny, SoCal Shave. So he got tagged with shaving with the non-dominant hand. I think some folks will do a lot better than what I feel like I'm going to be able to do. Today is Thursday. I had my days all mixed up yesterday and the day before. I guess you might say it was like Groundhog Day. Tuesday was Tuesday and Wednesday was Tuesday. It was a bit of a challenge, I tell you. All day on Wednesday I thought it was Tuesday. Surprised I made it through the day. Soap smells great. I've had this soap for I guess over a year now, and it's still holding the scent. That's pretty good. I was supposed to be using my left hand. I knew I would do this. That was my right hand. Catch it on the next one. Alright, razor and left hand. I knew this was going to be a challenge. It's, for me, half the time it's more mental than anything else, because you're so used to using your dominant hand. And yeah. Okay, I think I've got this figured out now. I did not do a practice run shave or anything. I was thinking about what I would consider a cheat, was using the one blade core for this, pivoting head, forgiving, you know, you get your angle off just a little bit. Thought that might be considered cheating just a tad bit. And was thinking about using a gem Micromatic with the angle already preset for you. But I have not shaved with an injector for a while, and I am telling you right now, it's all I can do. I'm still fighting what to use that right hand. Just want to go up there and grab that razor. I may have just got myself right there. Got a little bit of a bump there. I can tell you that I feel like it can be done. It's just it takes a little while to get in the groove of using your left hand. Now, shaving blindfolded, that'd be really tough. For one, I don't think I could shave that for a good long while, working up that nerve, if you will. It'd take me a while to get used to, I guess you might say, shaving without using my eyesight. Get used to using the feel of a blade on my face. Not too bad. I'm just right there. Just one spot so far. I can live with that if the rest of the shave goes that way. It's going to be fun. I guess I should do this differently. Since I'm shaving with my left, I should work this with my right hand instead of my left hand like I usually do. I have started something. I'll see how it works out, because I kind of tweaked the formula, if you will. There's been postings, videos, whatnot, and you can find them on YouTube. And I kind of, guess you might say, decided to go ahead and give it a try. I took, and I've still got one bowl left. What it is when I buy these plastic containers at Walmart, they come in threes. So the first two batches of soap that I worked up, one is Palmolive, and the other one is a shave stick Violon. And in the Palmolive I put Brute aftershave. Now it wasn't a full bottle. The full bottle that I have was 5 ounces when I first got it, and so some of it had been used out of it, so whatever was left in the containers what I put in with the Palmolive stick soap. And the other one, the Violon, I put Stetson aftershave in there, and it was what, 3.5 ounces or 4 ounces or something like that. But I put it in a plastic bowl that's made by Ziploc, has a screw lid, and on the Palmolive side, excuse me, I used 2 tablespoons of coconut oil and then 2 tablespoons of glycerin. And then on the Violon stick I used 2 tablespoons of the coconut oil, and then I used 2 tablespoons, switched it up a little bit, decided to, for me, in my opinion, Cremo cream is very slick, and I decided I would put 2 tablespoons of that in with the Violon to see how it worked out. And one of the first things I noticed was that how not using the glycerin made a world of difference on how everything mixed up. I guess you might say the coconut oil and the glycerin, at least there at the beginning, was kind of struggling to mix together, where when I would use Cremo and not the glycerin, worked out just fine. It seemed to want to mix together, and it's still hard not to use the right hand. Yep, it is a challenge. You not want to use that right hand. But I've got it worked up. I'm not sure how long I'm going to let it set before I give it a try. I guess you might say I think the typical time is 6 to 8 weeks to let soap cure. And so I might let it set a little while before I actually use any of it. and I thought I would wait before I try one with the Williams mug soap. I know just mixing it up, the formulation, it seemed like not using glycerin, things seem to mix up a lot better by not using a glycerin. Or maybe I should have cut back on how much I used. But I know with the palm olive, it took me quite a bit more work to get it to try to stay mixed together. So we'll see if it did stay mixed together over time. It'll be interesting to see how it worked out. As it goes for the bowl is it's a 2-cup bowl, plastic bowl. So in other words, if I wanted to go ahead and load the brush from the container, I'd have plenty enough room to work with it in there. It was just a thought in my head to go with something about that size. I typically don't load my brush that way. I usually bowl lather, but I thought I'd give it a try in these bowls, because I might like it better in those bowls. Just have to give it a whirl and see how it works for me. Just some thoughts running around in my head when I was working with it yesterday. The sticks, so what I did is of course I took a cheese grater, the fine grade is what I used, and ground it up pretty fine. And one suggestion was to put it in the freezer. In case you might say freeze dries. Decided I would forego the freezer part and just let the alcohol evaporate on its own, naturally, if you will. Alright, against the grain, we're going to see how this is going to work. Can tell you that this might be something close to what a person would experience when they first started. It's been a while. I know when I first started, I just did a single pass. And I can't remember exactly how long I did it. It might have been more than a week, but I know with a DE shaver, I just went with a single pass for a while until I felt like I was getting a little bit better with it. But it's also using your right hand that you're used to using, so. But with a person even using their right hand, their dominant hand, when they first start out shaving, getting the pressure down right, the angle, especially a young one. I did whip this up just probably a little too wet, this lather. Don't think I squeezed, worked enough water out of the horsehair. I have to say there's plenty of slickness, that's for sure. Just a little bit of a challenge, I would say. But I don't know, maybe it's considered cheating, I don't know, because like I said, I was working with a thing about working with a shaver that's already got the angle preset, and if you look at this using an injector, it is more or less kind of set for you. You just tweak it just a little bit and you'll do just fine. Just something to think about. I don't think there was any way I could do the shave with my non-dominant hand, both because it's take that back. I could probably do it with a shave vet. I just think the video might be just a little bit long. And I definitely would have a lot less chatting. I watched Marcos Mendez. I watched his video, and he was shaving with a straight razor, and talking about, you know, not talking while he was shaving with that straight razor up next to his face. And I can definitely understand. It takes a while to get that muscle memory built up, and I guess you might say get in the habit of working with a straight razor, and then start talking while you're shaving. It is a bit of a challenge. I know sometimes you know, after you see some of the videos, some folks makes it look easy. It's because they've been doing it for a while. This doesn't happen overnight. Trust me. It takes a while. Because I know when I first started talking while I was shaving was, I like shaving with my left hand. First of all, I'm not talking to anybody when I'm shaving, so talking and shaving at the same time was a real chore for me to mentally get past that. Just like the whole shave, I'm wanting to reach up there and, you know, start using my right hand, because it's a lot of mental work for me. Of course, got a little bit of stinging right there. I can still smell the soap. This soap smells great. Really, I probably don't use this one enough, because this is one of those that every once in a while, for instance, I pick up the pomegranate, and every once in a while I can pick up the rose. Apple is the one I would have to say that I don't pick up. I don't think I've ever smelled the apple, and maybe it's because it's well blended with others and it's there, and I just don't realize that it's there. But it smells great. That rose to me just really helps put it on a different level scent-wise. I kind of feel like I was cheating today. Using a single edge. Be honest with you, I felt more comfortable using a single edge than I did with a double edge. To me, a double edge is more of a challenge, because you got to figure out the angle. Pressure is one thing, angle is a whole nother animal. I knew I could figure out the pressure with my left hand. That, to me, that's the easy part for me mentally. Setting the angle, I needed something to help me set the angle, and I felt like an injector, or like I said, you know, a gem micromatic would be a good place to go to. A single edge that's already kind of sort of got the angle already set for you, so if you just focus on how that head is and keep it flat along there, you'll do pretty good. And this, you know, an injector's a lot like that. The angle's already pretty much set. You can tweak it. It's just a little bit that you tweak it, and then you roll with your shave. And what can I say? For somebody starting out, single edge is not a half bad place to start. It really isn't. So there are some double edges. Oh, for instance, if you have the Rockwell 6C, that's a good one to go with. Marvel, find Marvel. Oh, and there's a part of me that wants to get one of those razors. It's already got the angle preset. Manatee, yeah, that's another one. No, the Hydra 6, yeah, that's the one. It's a 3D printed razor, and it's a lot like the Marvel, that the angle is already preset. The top of the cap is flat. The angle is already set for you, so if you can keep that angle. But anyway, to me, just the single edge was the easiest way to go. What can I say? It's going to make kind of a fun shave. Shaving with a straight razor or a shave vet, boy, that's quite a challenge. Now, if I was doing this video on a weekend, I might have had a chance. But the way my head is and the way my migraines here lately, I was just hoping to get this one in without any kind of issues. Woke up, my head is feeling pretty good today. The weather's been just you know, I guess you might say that the pressure of the weather has really affects my head here of late. And okay, so yesterday the high was 50. The day before, I think we got up to 36. But you know, we were looking at freezing rain, sleet, snow. We didn't have, there were snow flurries, I think, but that was probably as good as it got when it comes to snow. There was ice pellets and freezing rain, and that lasted for a moment, at least here where I'm at. A little bit further to the north, they got a whole lot more ice than what we did here, but we'll be smelling good today. I smell great. Good stuff here. I sometimes, not that I don't like this aftershave, because I do. It's just sometimes pairing it up with whatever soap. Sometimes I just have to, you know, like I do a lot of times. I want this soap today, and I want this aftershave today, and I want this shaver, and maybe some of the combinations don't look like they work well, but for me, in my head, they do. So, hope everybody's doing well. Fun shave. You got to give it a try. Stay safe and smooth shaves to you.